What's good, everybody? It's your boy Flock representing the game Illuminaughty, and we back again with another GI5. Yes, the GI5 is back in effect. And with me, I got Nomad. Say what up to the people.
Yo, what up, what up, what up? Your boy Nomad here, man. What's good with y'all?
We got Mr. GI Radio himself, JG the Don. Say what up to the people.
What's good? What's good? We back again.
All right. And this time we got a good one for y'all, man. We got our top 5 hip hop albums of all time and our personal opinions. So for anybody that tends to get triggered, please don't do it to yourself in the comment section, because if I don't fry you, somebody else in the comment section is gonna fry you. This is our personal opinion, so if you don't agree with it, that's cool. If you do agree with it, that's cool. All right, so we just gonna keep it going like this. We not gonna hold y'all up. We're gonna start out with number 5, and JG is on you.
All right. So I want to choose something fairly recent, not too recent, because it was very, very hard to come up with my list. As I understand, it probably is for everybody else. But my number 5 has to be Tyler the Creator with Cherry Bomb. This album just had me in a different mindset. When I listened to the album, I could listen to it pretty much all the way through. And if it makes me feel a certain way after I listen to it, after I get done listening to it, then that's a good album for me. And it hasn't been too many albums recently that has made me feel like that. I can listen to a lot of albums straight through, but there are still like a couple of songs I'm like, I don't know about that one. But this one I could legit listen through like a million times. I just like keep listening to it, keep listening to it, keep listening to it. And that's what I consider a good album. My favorite songs on there were Two Seater and Find Your Wings. I just like Tyler the Creator just overall as an artist. The production is like A1. And he has a lot of influences that I also like. So I appreciate just his talent and everything he does. So that's my number 5.
Okay, Cherry Bomb.
Like that.
Cherry Bomb.
That's a nice
Yeah, I listened to that, man. It was actually pretty decent. I liked it. I actually did like that. I did listen to that. I don't listen to a lot of his stuff, but I did listen to that. Nomad, what you got for your number 5?
My number 5 is 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying.
Nice.
The impact that it had when it came out, man, was monumental. That dude had a big wave push behind him. But it wasn't for the original lead single. It's the bonus song he had, and Not Like Me. I heard that song like on the, I forgot what kind of DVD it was, when he used to have like the come up DVDs and stuff like that. And he actually put the bonus song on there. I just thought like that song was hard. So like right there, I was sold as a 50 Cent fan. So that's why I like that one.
All right. Any songs that put it over the top for you besides that one?
No, not really. I mean, the album was just great all around. I mean, like the production and everything. So it wasn't nothing to put it on top. I just like that song. That song, Not Like Me, was fire.
All right. I'm gonna start off with my number 5. I'm taking it back. I'm taking it way back. This is Dr. Dre the Chronic. My number 5. That is an all-time great, an all-time classic. When Dr. Dre left NWA, just a little bit of backstory. Dr. Dre left NWA for the same reason that Ice Cube did back in the day. Felt like Eazy-E and Jerry Heller was ripping them off. And it came out to be true. If many of you probably seen the movie Straight Outta Compton, they touched on that a little bit about him leaving and going solo and all that other stuff. And it was just a classic album. It still stands the test of time. Not a lot of albums from back then age well. Like you can listen to it and be like, okay, this was hot back then, but listening to it now, it don't seem like it's that great. But that's definitely not the case with this one, man. There's just so many songs on that album, man. You had like High Powered, of course, the Nothing But a G Thing. You had the diss track he did on Eazy-E, fucking with Dre Day. It was a lot of, man, and like it was just an overall collaboration, and it was just a sign of what was to come for Death Row Records, which at the time when that album dropped, shortly after, for like the next 3 to 4 years, it put the West Coast at the head hip hop. So yeah, for that reason, and not that reason alone, but for the main reason, that's definitely in my top 5. And before we go any further, my top 5 changes depending on what time of day it is, what I had to eat that day and stuff. So by the time y'all hear this, my top 5 is probably something completely different. I mean, my top 2 is probably always the same, but anywhere between 3 and 5 always changes. So, all right, we're gonna go over to number 4. Jay, what you got?
My number 4, and this takes me back to the days riding the school bus with that red Walkman with the anti-skip. Y'all remember that, yo? When anti-skip was the thing.
The CD joint. Which one you talking about? The
Yeah,
CD.
boy, the CD.
Yeah, CD player,
I had the red Walkman, bro.
I think mine was called the Discman.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what it's called. The Discman, the Walkman Discman, same thing. It's made by Sony. But yeah, that it brings you back to that. So one of the albums that I listened to constantly on the bus was Clips, Lord Willing. So that's my number 4. I already knew about Pharrell back then. I was already a huge NERD fan, and when Pharrell brought Clips out, oh my god. Can you imagine how many people were using their pencils in school, making the beat for grinding? Come on, bro. Absolute classic, man. Absolute classic. So that shit was iconic by itself. But my favorite songs from that album was I'm Not You and Gangsta Lean. Gangsta Lean especially, bro. When Pharrell hit that hook, nigga have the Gangsta Lean.
Yeah,
love it, bro. Absolutely love it. I can listen to this album again from start to finish and it just made me feel a certain type of way. Like this was definitely like nostalgia purposes for me all the way. That's my number 4.
Yeah, no doubt. And the kind of like piggyback on what JG said, a great album is an album that you can listen to start to finish and don't feel like it's a chore to listen to like that 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5 songs. Just because somebody had like a hot single and it sold a lot of records, don't make it a great album. It just meant they had a hot single and everybody bought that. So I feel the same way. And with that Lord Willing, bro, that When the Last Time, bro, that shit come on, boy.
And
Ma Don't Love Her.
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah,
that's my shit, bro. Yeah, that's yeah, so I'm definitely a huge fan of Clips. I always have been. What's your number 4, Nomad?
My number 4 is Outkast, AT-Aliens, man. Come on, man. Throw your hands in the air. Yo, I'm telling you, that song was fire. But my favorite song off that album definitely was Two Dope Boys in a Cadillac.
Two Dope Boys in a Cadillac. Yes, sir.
Elevators, Jezebel, Wheels. Oh my God, that whole album.
13th Floor, Growing Old.
Yep, you know it, boy.
Not gonna front. That verse, that CD alone made 3000 my favorite rapper.
Yeah.
It made 3000 my favorite rapper. So without a doubt.
I remember that, man. Cause my uncle just bought it for me. He said, "Yo, you gotta listen to this, man." He said, "Cause he don't buy me stuff, but he said this album is straight all the way through."
Shit came out in 1996, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, dog. My list is old, bro. But these joints guarantee you they stand the test of time. You can listen to it front and back. There's no like stupid fillers and like every song has substance, man. Every song, the production was on point, man. Dog, I'm just telling you. It's a southern thing, dog. ATLians all day, bro.
All right, I'm gonna go with my number 4, and oh god, it was hard for me to pick just the one. So I'm kind of like cheating because I got 2 of them there because I don't like either one any more than the other. So I had to put them both because I didn't want to knock off Dr. Dre the Chronic. So it's like it's a mashup. I got Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt, and Outkast, AT-Aliens. That's great. That's why when you said that, I just was like, I couldn't take one off. I just couldn't take one off because my honorable mentions is like it's a long list, and I gotta really like keep that. That'll be another video in itself. My honorable mentions because, like I said, I can't do it. But to get on, I mean, Nomad already touched on AT-Aliens, so I won't get on that. But Reasonable Doubt, I mean, it was Jay-Z's coming out party. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people are more of a fan of Blueprint, and me personally, I was like torn between Reasonable Doubt and the Black Album because the Black Album is like right there as well, like one of my favorite Jay-Z album. But for what Reasonable Doubt did, and people didn't really appreciate it until his second album came out, which didn't do as well. So people went back to Reasonable Doubt, and it was like, word. And I remember being in school listening to this shit and was putting people on in school like, yo, you need to listen to this dude. This shit is tight right here. And people were like, yeah, and people like, just like, yo, I still remember when you used to put me up on Jay-Z, like, bro, feeling it, Dead Presidents, Can't Knock the Hustle. You know what I'm saying? Politics as usual. Brooklyn's Finest with Biggie when he took the little jab at Pac saying he fucked Faith and shit like that. When he said if Faith had twins, she probably had two Pacs. Get it? Tupac. It's just, man, top to bottom, yo. That was just an awesome album, bro. Like you can't deny. I mean, you can't go wrong with either album if you're picking a Jay-Z album. I'm only picking one per artist just to try to keep it fair. But if I would have picked a Reasonable Doubt, the Black Album, or Blueprint, you couldn't go wrong with either one. But for me personally, Reasonable Doubt just did more to me because where I was in my life being a youngster, you know what I'm saying? It was just
absolutely.
It just made me, man, appreciate shit. So
did that come out in 96?
1996, sir. That was one of the greatest years of hip hop, man. A lot of shit came out in 96. All right, we'll go to number 3. We're gonna swing it backwards. We're gonna go what's that fucking word I want to use? Whatever. We're gonna go in reverse. Nomad, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Busta Rhymes When Disaster Strikes.
Oh my God.
You put a hot one in any motherfucker that get in the way. This shit. Yo, that right there, yo. You, of course, you know, you had Put Your Hands on the Eye, I Can See. I had like So Hardcore. And I love Get High Tonight. And the song he had with the Flip Mode Squad, because the dude on there,
Take It Outside.
Lord Have Mercy.
Lord Have Mercy. Yeah.
That was my dude,
with
son.
the deep
like,
voice.
You know, yeah, and Body. Let me see. No, and Get Off My Block also. What was it? Body Rock. It's one of the songs that had like a song at the end with Spliff Star, and that shit was so raw, bro. Like that album, front to back forward, man.
Then they had the joint with Mace and them on there too.
Mace. Yeah, 25. Was
Don't Stop Your Body Rock.
Yeah. Stop the Body Rock. Then you had the one with Erykah Badu. Yo, that album was classic, bro. Sonic, as one. Yep. Hey man, I'm telling you, can't. That to me, that's Busta Rhymes' most best album to date.
That came out in 1997.
Yep. So
towards the end of 1997. So
came a year after Reasonable Doubt.
A lot of classics. All right.
Yes, sir.
Jay, what you got? Number 3.
My number 3 goes to Ludacris. Word of Mouth. This album.
Cut up.
No, you
that cut up, boy. That was my shit. What?
Just go to the first 5 seconds of the intro. Yo, the royal penis is clean, your highness.
Bruh, he killed that shit.
Bruh, absolutely killed that shit. Like anybody knows what Coming to America references. Like
that was that Coming to America shit.
Yeah, Coming to America. Yep.
Like this album, I was liking Ludacris some back for the first time. So that was his first thing that I heard. But then when Word of Mouth came, that's when I felt like Ludacris really blew up and came into the mainstream. My favorite song from that album was "Go to Sleep" with 3 6 Mafia, and I 20 and Lil Fate, and Get the Fuck Back with all the DTP clique. Again, this was another album that I just listened to constantly from beginning to the end. Yeah, Welcome to Atlanta. I mean, it's not my favorite anymore because it's been worn out. But when it came out, it was definitely, that song that everybody knew. Like, if you didn't know anything about Atlanta, like Welcome to Atlanta was that. That was that song for you. So it was just, I don't know. I just feel like this was perfect. And I feel like as far as like rappers from the South, Ludacris doesn't get as much credit as I feel like he really does.
Definitely,
I really feel like he doesn't. So I definitely give Ludacris props.
I can never like classify him as just a Southern rapper. Like you got to put him like it's just an MC in general, because he can come in on one of your favorite rappers' songs and tear his ass up. Yeah.
And nobody never wanted to battle with him either, because that nigga would eat you up on the mic. I mean,
T.I. tried.
He tried, but he just couldn't do it.
But Stomp made him reconsider.
Had to make him. You know what, man? I'm
Stomp, boy.
Oh my God, what song was that? Luda did the DJ Khaled remix when he bodied that shit, bro.
Don't forget about that War with God too, when he that Lucifer. Yeah, boy. He man. I don't know why T.I. kept poking at him. And I love T.I., man, but
same here.
He just wasn't ready. He just wasn't ready for that.
That was one of the only beats that he legit lost.
I'm like, look, my nigga, this ain't Lil Flip, bro.
Yeah, I know, right? This right here is a whole nother level MC, bro. I remember that dude back from when I live in Atlanta, Chris Lover on the radio, boy.
Right. See, I didn't know nothing about any of that, so I had to find out about it.
I'll be that nigga named Luda, aka LFE, and my phone.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
All right.
Somebody not prepared.
My phone, man. I mean, you know, busy man. You know,
You got put on
put down
silent.
silent.
I
You
know,
got that
man.
bad boy on
I know,
vibrate.
man. It's on silent now, man. My kid's already here, so I ain't gotta leave it on. All right, my number 3. Was you done, Jay?
Yeah, I'm done.
My number 3 is the Notorious B.I.G. Life After Death. If anybody knows me, knows that Biggie is probably my favorite of all time. Although 3000 is my favorite, I always rotate them back and forth. But Biggie by far is still, like, to me, if not the best, one of the top 2 or 3 to ever do it. Just for, I mean, this album alone, that double CD, I mean, that album is already certified diamond. So
Diamond, yep.
yeah, so I mean, it's unfortunate the man lost his life at age 24. Plus, me and Biggie share a birthday May 21st. Shout out to your boy. So, he dropped so much heat. I can't even name all the songs on that double CD. But when you turn that shit on and that Notorious fucking Thugs come on, bruh.
Oh, that was my shit, dog.
Him and Bone. I'm saying, bruh. I mean, when that man came, and then he had the story to tell. Biggie, like, a lot of people don't know, Biggie is by far one of the best storytellers. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, when he talked about robbing a dude from the New York Knicks and shit like that, it's people like, you ever watch Highly Questionable? When they asked Fat Joe, was that shit true? And they were saying, yeah, that was true. He you know what I'm saying? He was messing with one of the New York Knicks females and stuff like that. So, you know, he was basically like, yo, one of them 6'5" niggas. So, I mean, it was just so many songs, man. Nasty Girl, the joint with R. Kelly. It was just, there's so many songs, man. I can't name all the songs on that, but all I can say is, like, the, you know, Niggas Bleed, you know, Long Kiss Goodnight, bruh. Biggie was just, he was in his element, he was in his prime, and it just sucked that he wasn't even around to see that album drop. You know what I mean? So he wasn't even around to see that album drop. And of course, like, the radio cuts, like Hypnotize and, you know, Sky's the Limit. That's another dope song too.
Shit too, dog.
Another dope song. So
who produced that Easy Mo B? Oh my god, yo.
Was that Easy Mo B or was that? I know Stevie J did some shit on that album too.
Maybe, yeah, no, he did the Notorious Thugs.
Yeah, so shout out to Stevie J, man. Still out here.
Stevie J get clout out here.
Yeah, Stevie J produced Stevie J produced a good portion of that album. Mm-hmm. So yeah, man.
Fake so much, so well. Yeah.
No doubt. Anything else I want to add on that? Probably not. So we just gonna keep it moving, man. We gonna keep this short and light for y'all. JG, number 2.
All right, my number 2 goes to Eminem, Marshall Mathers LP. When Eminem came out, I was not feeling it with How My Name Is. I'm not gonna lie, but ended up growing on me, and I'm like, okay, you got you got Dr. Dre in your corner, so something must be up here. Right. And as I started listening, and Marshall Mathers LP came out, this album had so many people tripping, yo. All the parents like, don't listen to this. I remember my homeboy's mom was like, look, you got this album, don't let my son listen to it. Like, it was that serious. Eminem was going in. He's a crazy ass white boy, but like, when you think about Eminem flow, because this album, he was still a little crazy, like super crazy. With Kim, like, just that song, Kim, for example. And I mean, just the first song, bitch, I'ma kill you. You don't want to fuck with me. Girl, please, you ain't nothing but a slut. Like, I don't know. It was right. It's so crazy, but I don't know. It just manifested with me. Like, I really enjoyed this album. I don't know if it was more because, like, people didn't want me to listen to it, or if it was just because, like, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But, like, I just remember, like, just playing this album and just playing Twisted Metal back in the day. Like, that's how it was. Like, I just listened to the album just
on the PS1.
Hell yeah, bro. Metal 3 and 4, like, that was my shit, yo. So my favorite songs in there was obviously The Way I Am and and Drug Ballad. Ballad was definitely one of my favorites. So I don't know, this album was my most favorite Eminem album from him of all time. Because the first 3 we mentioned, and the other ones after that I don't mention. But that's when I stopped liking them. Eminem Show was the last good one in my opinion. But Marshall Mathers definitely my favorite.
So you didn't like Relapse or Recovery?
Nah. Nope.
True.
Nope. Those don't exist.
I ain't mad at you, dog. I ain't mad at you, man. I ain't
those
mad
do
at
not
you
exist.
I mean, the joint him and Royce did together was good though. When Bad Meets Evil.
Oh yeah,
of course.
Oh yeah, and you remember they did a song called that too on Eminem's his first joint too.
Royce is one of the only dudes who was cool with somebody and then beef with D12, the entire clique.
Shut the
Thought
ass
somebody
down.
go kill him and stuff, and then still ended up being cool with him and getting signed to the label.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
because him and Eminem had like way before rap they were friends.
Yeah,
Right,
they made
right.
it up though,
It was-
so it was good.
They
Yeah,
made
yeah,
up.
you know, they
It
made
could
it
have,
up.
it could have. I mean, it could have, it could have ended even worse. You know what I mean? I mean,
Right,
R.I.P. to
Royce
Cruz
is-
too.
Royce is
nice
up
too.
there. Royce is
Yeah.
definitely
Oh,
up
yeah.
there. Did y'all listen to the bar exam forward? Just side.
Not
side
yet.
note.
I need to listen to that.
Yeah,
I heard you
to-
listening to it.
I need to get that. I need to get my hands on
Oh
that.
my
Y'all know
goodness.
I'm a fan of Royce.
Royce went the fuck in.
All right. My number two. Well, you know what? Go ahead, Nomad. I'll go last.
Okay, no doubt. My number 2, of course, we touched it already. Was Jay-Z's "Reasonable Doubt." Flock touched that already. I just say, man, but that album just had that sound that just put me in like that trance where I just could chill right around.
You always know, like a
all
good
day.
album, a great album. You
Yeah.
know where you were the first time you heard it.
Yeah.
Bar none. Like
Yep.
you know exactly where you were, what you was doing. I
I
had an older dude that stayed down the street from me named Wayne. I still remember the dude. I used to always see him walking to the store. He had just came home from the military, and I was like, man, what you listening to? He had his his Discman. So I'm like, what you listening to? Like, man, check this out. And I'm listening to. I'm like, this shit tight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was like, ever since then, dude put me on, and I was like, yo, I was always making sure. I'm always make sure when I'm in that position, I'm gonna put people on the good music, man. So
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I definitely remember where I was when I first heard that, man.
When I
Young
had
teenager.
This, yeah, same. Man, I had this album like on my CD player, bro. I used to ride my bike back and forth from work, and that would be my album to listen to back and forth all the time. I would bounce between two CDs, but these two, this album and the next one I'll tell you for my number one was the two that I listened to the most. That really started getting me like deep into hip hop and stuff like that. And also, side note, that song I said, Skyline was produced by Clark Kent. I get him and Easy Mo B mixed up sometime, but I had to correct myself before the chat come at me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But they probably
I'm
didn't know.
about to say, I'm quite sure you
They probably
talking.
don't.
You
Yeah,
talking?
I know,
I mean,
know.
you may have one or two people that may know that, but most people, if
Yeah.
anything before like 2004, most people
Yeah.
that watching
I
don't
gotta
know.
get props where props is due. I can't let somebody take credit for it.
All right.
So yeah, that's my number 2.
All right. Number 2 for me is Mobb Deep, The Infamous.
Ooh.
I mean,
Ooh, that's a classic.
need I say more, man? Shook One,
You gotta have to say
Survival of
more.
the
Shook
Fittest.
One, yeah.
I mean, they still playing that shit to this day. That's gonna be on 2K18.
2K,
I mean,
yeah.
come on, man.
Shout
I
out to
mean,
Prodigy,
that
Rick Prodigy.
track alone, bro. Like, R.I.P. to Prodigy, of course. Like once again, like you remember where you are when you first hear it. I mean, it wasn't their first album; it was actually their second, because their first one was called Juvenile Hell. That one didn't do too well, and it wasn't that good of an album, to be honest with you. But once the Infamous came out, the production from Havoc is some shit, boy. That you got to think of how old they were when that album came out. These dudes was like 19, 20, like about maybe 20
yep.
years old when this shit came
Babies.
out. Yeah, so these dudes weren't even 21 years old when this stuff came out, and the production and the rhymes, you know what I mean, that they was kicking on that, like it was some shit, bro. Like if you haven't checked that album out ever, I recommend you definitely check that one out, because that's gonna be like, if you got a father or uncle or somebody that's in between like 33 and 42, they gonna tell you like, that's a classic. That dude ain't lying. That's an all-time classic. So it's just a lot of songs, man. Like Drink Away the Pain, you know what I mean? Q You Hectic, Eye for an Eye. And I use a lot of Mobb Deep beats in videos all the time. Some people catch it, other people don't. So it's just an all-around top to bottom good album, yo. Good album. All right, before we get to number 1, JG, it'll be on you. You want to name some honorable mentions before you get to
I'll
your
just
number
name
one?
a few because we could be going on forever with
Indeed.
with that one.
Indeed.
So Jay-Z, the Black Album, that's by far one of my favorites. Outkast, Aquemini, that was my favorite Outkast album of all time. So it's hard to choose. It's so hard to choose. And Kanye West, College Dropout. I took a chance on that one, and Kanye, oh my God, that's my favorite. Definitely my favorite Kanye album.
All right. What's your number 1, sir?
Oh, my number one is actually Nomad's number five, and I was like, "Damn, he put that number five." But I understand, y'all. We in two different time periods. And I
Yeah.
listened to a lot of those albums all the way through. Of course, I know those songs, but I
Right.
didn't listen to all those albums, so I couldn't just put it on my top five. But those are all classics that you all have. But 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying is my number one. I took a chance on 50 Cent, just like I took a chance on Kanye. I didn't hear about any of them or really like listen to any of their stuff. I didn't hear any of 50 Cent stuff, but I was like, all right, y'all are saying that this is gonna be like a dope ass album, right? So I went to the store, got that shit, and like I don't know, I ended up becoming like the popular dude in school. They was like, yo, you got that 50 Cent, yo, let me listen to that, though. And I was like, yo, like this shit was crazy. Like 50 Cent blew up like a wildfire, yo.
Yeah, he did.
And man, like just listening to this album like every day going to school was crazy. My favorite songs were What Up Gangsta and Polar Rich.
Oh yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, Polar Rich was super dope. But I don't know, 50 Cent just had that aggression to him, and of course, like he got the cosign from Eminem, so it just
And
all
Dr.
goes
Dre.
hand in hand, and Dr. Dre. So I was like, all right, he must be about something, right? So it's the same situation, and
Yeah.
I was not disappointed with listening to this album. So that's my number one for sure.
All right, Nomad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
honorable
my
mentions?
mention. Yeah, I just got one. I'm not gonna do too many. T.I.'s Urban Legend. When he
Mhm.
first came over with that, yo, ASAP, Ace. Yo, I'm telling you, boy, that was
The
my
joint with him and Lil Kim. Get your
Yep,
shit
him,
together.
man. Yep. Yo, he had so many like he had some nice groovy tracks on it too, cause he had like some production from Jazzy Faye and all of them and stuff like that. That was like, I'm like, this is a good album, man. Just the sound of it. The sound alone wasn't over top. Like I don't think there's one song I can skip on there. I can listen to like front and back twice. I said about all these albums because it's true. Every album, the filler, there were no fillers for me at all. So, but my number one album is Redman, Muddy Waters. That was the first album I bought, bruh. The first album I bought ever with my own money. I heard the song on I forgot, I think it was a rap CD song that called It's Like That, My Big Brother with K Solo. That beat, yo.
Hold on, let me put the disclaimer in because there's gonna be some people that's gonna be like, "Who, nigga?" All right, Redman, was it this past year or was it the year before when he did the did the
Cypher?
freestyle on the Cypher thing with the BET?
I think it was 2 years ago. It might have been 2 years ago.
I think it was last year's whenever it was. He was the one that out rapped everybody. Like he had the best rhyme out of every Cypher verse, every Cypher rhyme that everybody did. And this is a man that's well into his 40s, pushing 50 now. So I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
I'm telling you. Actually, I take that back because this is my number one album, but the first Redman song I heard was oh my god. It was on an Eric Sermon album. I can't remember the name of the song right now. I just know that it was a black and white video. It's something heavily armed. I can't remember. But anyway, it was just like I said, yo, who is this guy? And it took this was
he had that energy.
He had that energy. It's like, who is this guy? I'm like, I don't know. Then the internet wasn't the internet back then, so you just couldn't find, search. I heard it like one late night on the radio, and then I never found that song again. I actually had that song as an intro on one of my old intro on my videos when I first started YouTube. But anyway, on Muddy Waters, man, we had Pick It Up. You had Rock the Spot. You had Creepin'. You had Superman Lover. Oh my God. Then you had Do What You Feel with Redman. Oh man, that album All Alone. The one he had with the Ill Out with Keith Murray and Jamal. Dog. Whew. I was like, yo, this album, bro. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
All right. For me, brace yourselves, man. Honorable mentions. Like I said, man, my top 5 changes so much, man. I had to put a lot of these in my honorable mentions. I'm gonna go with Bone Thugs and Harmony, East 1999, Eternal.
That would be one of mine too.
Fun fact for a lot of you who may or may not know this, that album is called Eternal, and how ironic that they took maybe 2 or 3 songs from the video game called Eternal Champions and sampled that. The original version of Crossroads.
DJ Unique.
Yeah, yep. DJ Unique. You took the original version from the bad ending in Eternal Champions, and that was the original Crossroads, not the one where everybody's seeing Miss My Uncle Charles, y'all. We talking about the one that say Wally, even though you gone, you still got love from Bone. That version. And then they did another one with the song called Eternals, which was the menu music from Eternal Champion. So, even to this day, man, people back then, people were sampling just like they doing now. So, Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style, forever a classic. Lil Brother, The Minstrel Show, back in 2007. I got Busta Rhymes, When Disaster Strikes. I got 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. I got Eminem, the Marshall Mathers LP. And I got Wu-Tang Clan, 36 Chambers. That's my honorable mentions. I'm sorry, y'all. I had a lot of them. So, and my number one is Nas, Illmatic. I'm sorry, y'all. I mean, some people may or may not appreciate that, but you ask anybody, bro, it stands the test of time to this day, yo. Still, it's probably your favorite rapper's favorite album. So, and I ain't gonna lie, I started to troll y'all and say some shit like Lil Uzi just to throw y'all off, but
oh no,
I started to, bro. But I wasn't even in the mood for it, man. But yeah, Nas, Illmatic. Then we hear
came out with that one too?
1994.
He was like,
Nas was 20.
Like 19 or something like that?
Nas was 20 when it came out. Yeah, 1994.
Yeah,
I mean, you had a lot of who was that dumbass nigga that said if you don't have features on your album you retire? Was that French Montana?
Something like that, yeah.
This is a prime example of why this dude is an idiot and why he can't rap and why he needs features to make a halfway decent album, and he still sucks. Nas only had one feature on Illmatic, and that was AZ on Life's a Bitch.
Yeah.
The only. I mean, I can get into all these songs on here, man. You had The World Is Yours, Halftime, Memory Lane, One Love, Represent. That was on a previous 2K game. You got It Ain't Hard to Tell, which is probably my favorite Nas song ever. It Ain't Hard to Tell. It's just top to bottom, bro. Top to bottom. Classic. Any hip hop head, any true real hip hop head knows that Illmatic is, and I say that Nas is not my favorite rapper of all time, but he made my favorite album of all time. So you gotta go into it like, okay, just because it's my favorite rapper don't mean your favorite rapper may not always make a great album. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So, case in point, there's a lot of people that like, they like Jadakiss. Jadakiss albums not always that great. Yeah, they don't always be that great. And he can rhyme with the best of them, but his albums ain't always that great. So
he can't construct a good album.
It's just not, it's not taken away from him lyrically. It's just as far as like putting a complete album out. I mean, this dude had DJ Premier in his back pocket doing this Illmatic, so you gotta look at that too. Pete Rock, you working with some of the greats, and them dudes still working and still at the top of their game to this day. So so there you have it. Anything you want to say in closing, Nomad?
Yes, I do. God, glad you said that because I remember the name of the song. It was Redman Funkorama. That song just put me in the hip hop game so hard when I heard that dude sing. So I had to say because it was gonna bother me if I didn't remember it. When it closes, man, like this is our top five. We are showing our age, and y'all know I'll tell you my age in a minute. I'm 36. And I'm getting younger by the day. You know what I'm saying? I got this reverse thing going on. I don't know what it is.
Benjamin Button in the building.
Yeah, you know it. And I like the new age stuff. I mean, I don't like it all, but I mean, when you go to top five, I have to go back for what I grew up listening to now. And right now, stuff I'm listening to doesn't hold a candle to what the back in the day is. Not saying you're old head or nothing like that. It's just that's what I like. That's the sound I like. So y'all in my stream, y'all hear the music I play. A lot of it's kind of like in that era. I have a few new stuff here and there, but for the most part, it's gonna be from the 90s into like in the 2000s and stuff like that, man. So with a grain of salt, man. Like I said, with a grain of salt, appreciate y'all listening for sure. I'm done.
All right, Jay.
It's definitely interesting, and I knew it was going to be like this, and that's why I kind of wanted some more people in here to see what their top five were. But I knew that y'all were going to definitely hit us with some real old classic, bro. I wish that I was listening to rap back then because I grew up in '88. I'm only 28, so I really started getting into rap like like maybe
You're a teenager,
97.
right?
Yeah, maybe 97 on. Like, of course, I know about like the classic songs from the majority of the albums that you all named, but
Yeah.
I never listened to it all the way through, and I never really took the time to go back to listen to these albums. I might actually do that some more with some of these. I know I was kind of on that tip for a little minute, like listening to like all of Wu-Tang's albums one
Damn,
day,
we did
just
put
because.
Wu-Tang in honorable mention.
I did.
Well, Flock did. He put 36
Oh,
Chambers
okay.
in there.
Okay.
But I can't. But like, just technically, just for me, I just couldn't put those on my top 5 because I wasn't in that era. I didn't actually go back and listen to them. But I respect all of them. Like, they literally
Absolutely.
paved the way. So again, it's definitely interesting. But yeah, just keep in mind, you know, I'm a little bit more recent with some of my stuff.
Right,
but I mean, for the most part, like, yeah, like we all agreed that, like, yeah, like those were some good ass albums. So
Right.
like there were really like no curveballs in it. I'm sitting there nodding my head like, yep, that was tight. So I would probably actually recommend that like some of y'all that listen to this do the same thing. If y'all get the chance, just listen to some older albums and you can learn to appreciate them and just appreciate hip hop and how far it's going. Even though again, I can't condone.
It's still kind of young.
Yeah, I can't condone the majority of stuff that's going on right now, but I can definitely appreciate, you know, the
Some of
music of the past. Yeah, some of it.
All right.
One more fly thing before you close out. I noticed like the trend of like the albums from the yesteryears to now. The duration is shorter. Like before, albums used to be 70 to 80 minutes long. Now albums like 40, 46 minutes.
They used to have
They're
skits.
short. Yeah, but the skits wasn't that long. But still, like for the most part, the albums would be like. I mean, you don't get 30 minutes of extra skits.
Cause niggas ain't got no lyrical content. They just hurrying up
it's
blowing
like-
through a song. They like 2
Yeah,
verses
like-
and they done.
12,
Yeah.
13 songs, yeah, and then 2
Yeah,
verses, no
yeah,
hooks
like
sometimes.
40 minutes. I'm like, dog, that's it. Damn.
Yeah,
But I
you can
mean,
literally
but
just
on
go
the
through
flip side, I'd rather have 12 songs of heat than 18 songs
Oh yeah,
of
absolutely.
bullshit.
This talk on heat. That I'm all for it.
Mhm.
But you know, some of these new age is just fillers, bro. So,
I mean, it's not everybody. All right, in closing
no,
for
not
me.
everybody.
All right, in closing for me, I'll start off by saying, this is no implication that I hate all the artists that's out now. It's just my personal preference. This is the stuff that I listen to the most, and it did the most for me at that current state that I was listening to it. Yeah, I mean, we are a little, speaking for myself and Nomad, and even JG to a degree, a little bit older, you know what I'm saying, than most of you that watch us. But, you know, me, I'm still out here preserving my sexy as usual. So it's all good. You know what I'm saying? I'm a vampire, man. So I'm out here like for real, you know. So, but yeah, man, all in all, if any of you are a Patreon supporter, if you are in that tier to do, you know what I'm saying, that's to do a video, feel free to let me know. If you want to be a part of that, of course, the link is in the description to be a part of like these type of videos. You know, we have all these different types of tiers, man, so y'all can join in these conversations, man. Y'all seen people in the videos with us before, so it's nothing, man. Just make yourself known. If you're in the correct tier, you can definitely do this with us, man. I'm always interested in hearing what, you know, the everyday person like y'all have to say and how y'all feel. All in all, man, this was pretty good. I actually wanted to have a couple more people on here as well, man. Like JG said, we wanted to get a different dynamic, but as you can see, it was actually pretty good, man. I liked it, and it was fun, man, to go down the line. And now I'm gonna have to go back and listen to some of this stuff, like some of the stuff that like this Ludacris that JG named. I gotta go back and listen to Word of Mouth again. So
Yes,
you know what I mean.
sir.
So I gotta listen to a
for the
lot of that
first
stuff.
time.
Yeah, I gotta go back and listen to some of that stuff. So hopefully, man, y'all take this time, man, not as just like, you know, entertainment, but as actual education as well. Now y'all see why I speak for myself, it's so heavily critical. Like when you see us, you know, hear me on GI Radio, that's why I'm so critical, because, you know, I expect a certain level of excellence, man. It's like I'm the type to like respect your craft, know your history, know what came before you, so you can know where you going, and the next man can strive off of what you did. So that's why I am the way I am. I don't typically just come off to be an asshole just to be an asshole, man. I'm just, you know, I expect more. So that's all. And on that note, we about to be out of here, y'all. Back in your face with another GI5. We see y'all on the next one. We out. Peace.